So, you ever look at a really slick website and wonder, how did they do that? How does it go from just an idea to something that's actually bringing in business? Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic. It's all about having a solid plan. And today, we're going to break down the exact blueprint for taking a client's vision and turning it into a real high-converting website. Let's dive in. Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. It's not some fuzzy, I want a nice website kind of wish. Nope. It's a super clear business goal. The client says, I want to turn people browsing my site into actual scheduled calls. That's it. That one sentence is the North Star for this entire project. Everything we do has to serve that single purpose. So, how do you actually make sure you succeed, right? You can't just cross your fingers and hope it all works out. The secret is you make promises. You lay out specific, non-negotiable commitments from the very beginning. For this project, the whole thing is built on 5 key promises. Think of them as the 5 pillars holding the whole thing up. And here are those 5 promises. Now, in the fancy project management world, they call these acceptance criteria, but really, it's just a checklist for success. First, that call to action button, the book now button, it has to be super visible. Second, the booking system itself has to work perfectly. Third, the site's got to be fast on your phone, no excuses. Fourth, we need to get the basic SEO, that's search engine optimization, right from the start. And finally, the client needs to be able to use the site themselves after we're done. If we check off all 5 of these, we win. This is our roadmap. All right, let's get into it. Phase 1, the foundation. And seriously, just like building a house, if you mess up the foundation, the whole thing is going to come crashing down later. The choices you make before you write a single line of code are what save you from huge headaches down the road. Getting this part right is, well, it's everything. Okay, first big decision, right out of the gate, what platform are we going to build this on? You've got choices, right? WordPress, Webflow, and a bunch of others. For this project, the answer was WordPress. Now, why is that? It's not because it's my favorite tool or anything. It's because the client wanted to blog in the future and manage the site on their own. See, the decision was all about their long-term needs. That's key. Next up, we got to figure out the look and feel. And listen, this is way more than just picking some pretty colors. We're building a style guide to create trust. We use these clean, neutral colors, like charcoal and gray, to make the brand feel professional and reliable. But then, we pick one strong accent color, like a deep blue. Why? To make that all-important book a call button pop right off the page. It's strategic. And we're still not building yet. Before we touch a single page, we map out the entire structure. We figure out what keywords we want Google to find us for, like small business accounting. Then we lay out a super simple sitemap. Home, about, services, contact. That's it. This makes it dead simple for people and for Google to know exactly what's on the site and how to find it. No confusion. Okay, foundation is poured and set. Now it's time for the fun part. Phase 2, building the actual pages. This is where all that planning and strategy turns into something real, something a user can actually see and interact with. Our job here is to guide them from just browsing to actually clicking that book a call button. Think about it. When someone lands on a new website, you've got maybe 3 seconds, tops, before they click the back button. So in that tiny window of time, what is the one thing they absolutely must see? The answer is what they call the above-the-fold formula. It's a simple 3-part recipe. First, a killer headline that screams, A, you're in the right place. Second, a big, obvious button that tells them exactly what to do next. And third, a little something to build trust, like a testimonial. Those 3 things, hitting you right away, all working together. That's the magic. Now, the services page has its own strategy. It's a simple 3-step dance. 1, list what you offer. 2, and this is the part most people get wrong, explain the benefit. Don't just say, we do payroll. Say, we handle your payroll so you can get back to running your business. See the difference? It's all about solving their problem. And 3, as soon as they get it, you give them that button to book a call. And of course, we can't forget the About page. This page is so important. It's where you stop being just another faceless business and you become a real person. It's your chance to connect with people, share your story, and show off why you're the expert they should trust. So our pages are built. They look sharp, but a pretty website is useless if it doesn't do anything. That brings us to phase 3, integration and optimization.
This is where we get under the hood and turn this thing from a pretty picture into a lean, mean, business-generating machine.
And what's the heart of this machine? It's the Calendly integration. I love this because it's so true. It's the engine of the entire site. Think about it. The whole point of the homepage, the services page, all of it, is to get someone to this one spot where they can easily book a meeting. This is where a visitor becomes a lead. But hey, an engine that doesn't start is just a heavy piece of metal, right? So we have to test this thing from start to finish. We pretend we're a customer. We go to the site, we pick a time, we fill in our name and email, and we hit submit. And we're not done until we check our inbox and see that confirmation email. And more importantly, that the client also got their notification. Boom. Promise number 2, delivered.
Okay, let's talk about speed. Remember our third promise? This wasn't a nice to have, it was a must have. The site has to be fast on mobile, according to Google's own standards. Why are we so strict about this? Because in this day and age, a slow website is a dead website, period.
So how do we make it fast? It's not one single thing, it's a combination. First, you need good, fast hosting. That's non-negotiable. Then, we shrink down all the images. And we use a cool trick called lazy loading, which basically means the images at the bottom of the page don't even load until you scroll down to them. Pretty smart, right? And finally, it's all held together by clean, efficient code. No junk. All right, one last optimization step. We do a final SEO check. We're not talking about some super complex long-term strategy here. This is just basic housekeeping to make Google happy. We go page by page and make sure everyone has a clear main headline, good subheadings, and a solid title and description for search results. And just like that, promise number 4 is checked off the list. We are so close to the finish line. The site's built, it's tested, it's fast. Now for the final phase, launch and handover. You know, a great project doesn't just stop. It needs a professional finish. It's all about handing over the keys and setting the client up for success long after we're gone. And this right here is how we deliver on that final promise. We don't just disappear. We create a super simple guide for the client. It shows them exactly how to handle the most common things, like changing some text or writing a new blog post. This little guide is huge. It gives them the confidence and the power to actually own and manage their new website. And then comes the big day. Launch day. We do one last frantic check on Chrome, on Safari, on our phones, on a tablet, making sure everything looks perfect. Once we're happy, we flip the switch. The site goes live for the whole world to see. It's officially open for business. So let's take a step back and look at what we did. Remember those 5 promises we made at the very beginning? Let's check the scorecard. Is the call to action visible? Check. Does the booking work perfectly? Check. Is the site fast? You bet. Basic SEO complete? Check. And is the client ready to manage it themselves? Double check. By having a clear plan, we knocked out every single goal one by one. And that really brings us to the main takeaway here. Building a great website isn't about winging it. It's about having absolute clarity. It's about making promises and then having a clear step-by-step plan to keep them. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Is the blueprint for your website this clear?